Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how you folks doing? Welcome here. Welcome to another edition of the UnNamed Wrestling Podcast. I'm Conman, that's Botch Guy, and you got CWrestling here as well. Good to have you guys. Botchy, how you doing on this lovely Wednesday?
Absolutely incredible.
You're doing good? Yeah? You're chipper here. You ready to talk a little bit about NXT?
I love getting 2 root canals in 3 days. Love it.
Oh, you said this morning that it felt like you had a sledgehammer hit you in the side of the head. Is you still feeling that way?
Yeah, my cheek's huge.
Yeah.
It's still a little swollen, but
well,
I'll get over it. I'll fight through. I'll pull a Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe versus Braun Strowman. And I'll come back after I got injured and win the match. So
there you go. And if you know CWrestling, he actually offered to even out your face with a sledgehammer to the other side. CWrestling, you still into doing that?
Yeah, the offer still stands. I don't mind.
Good. Well, let's even out his face there. Let's make him look nice and fully round. Match the cheeks over there, Botchy. I'm just ripping on you.
And just to let chat know, I am waiting for a very important phone call. So I will, if that phone call does happen during the stream, I will have to step out for how long it takes.
Well, sounds good. Hopefully that it won't happen throughout the call and we can hear you chat through it the whole time. But if it does, it does. But ladies and gentlemen, the live chat, it's good to see you. Once again, this is the UnNamed Wrestling Podcast. And today we are going to be talking about Samoa Joe and his return to NXT. And we're also going to be talking about what makes NXT overall so damn great. So if you missed the news last night on NXT, Samoa Joe returned next to William Regal. And he had a nice little surprise for all of us. We assumed he was going to be the GM, but he's actually going to be the enforcer. So let's start things off with CWrestling. I know you watched the whole show of NXT last night and you loved it. Same with you, Botch Guy. But C, what were your thoughts on Samoa Joe coming out?
Brilliant. I think, the swerve of him not being the GM was really cool because we thought it was super predictable. And when he said no, it was like, wait, what? Is he going to wrestle? And then that stipulation they added to it, it's just everything's perfect with what they're doing with that. Because I don't think he's going to wrestle, but you've got that what if question, and that's cool.
Botch Guy, do you think that Samoa Joe is eventually going to wrestle?
No, I don't think so. I think they just offered him a hell of a contract to do non-wrestling things. I think the enforcer thing is a kind of good mix of what he did before. But at the same time, like I hope he wrestles. Like I hope he gets medically cleared. Like that would be ideal in an ideal situation. But I don't know. I feel like if he could wrestle, then wouldn't he just stay on the main roster and wrestle there? Because he's good enough to be a Universal Champion. He's good enough to be a WWE Champion. So like, and it's so easy to create storylines with Samoa Joe. So I'm not confident that he's going to be wrestling anytime soon, but his return was really good, man. That whole NXT show was, man, NXT is so good.
So good. Like, I think, is it fair to say, is NXT better than Smackdown? Would you both agree with that?
I said that the other day. Then I was thinking about it. I'm like,
you're on the fence?
Know. I'm on the fence. I think they're both at a very high level right now. And then Monday Night Raw is like so low that I would probably prefer to watch ROH than WWE right now.
What even is going on in Ring of Honor right now?
I don't know.
Not a clue.
I can't name one wrestler on Ring of Honor. Sorry.
See, how about you? Can you name anybody on Ring of Honor?
Does Jay Lethal still work there?
I don't know.
if he does, then that counts,
But yeah,
no, I can name 20. That's fine.
Sure, go right ahead. Just name random names. Let's see, see what you get. But yeah, NXT was quite solid last night, and it really is a very, very good show these days. But that brings us to the live chat here, who is telling me to fix the live chat because I am still caught on the previous chat from the last stream. But we want to know your thoughts here. Do you guys think NXT is better than SmackDown these days? You can either say yes or no in the live chat, but it's getting close. Samoa Joe going down there really legitimizes the brand, in my opinion. And it also adds another level to the management because William Regal, I love how they were telling the story of Regal losing control of the brand. And now Samoa Joe shows up and everybody is put in order. Let's talk a little bit about Samoa Joe and his first interaction truly on the main roster with somebody else. That was with Adam Cole last night. There was a brawl going on, and it was between Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole. Finally got separated a little bit before Adam Cole shoved Samoa Joe. The reaction to him going after Adam Cole. Your thoughts there, Botch Guy?
I put his ass to sleep. I love it. This is what I mean about like good booking. Like you start off the show, you have Joe introduce. Like you, first of all, you make Karrion Kross immediately. He's a heel. No babyface BS. He's a heel. He's a bad guy. He has Joe come back, show up. Obviously now he's a babyface. So you have that established. Then you establish everybody's big question, the GM question, right? Oh, is he a GM? No, he's not. He's an assistant. Great. Now, okay, so what is he going to do exactly? Literally, next segment, he goes out and he puts one of the top guys in NXT put to sleep, right? Showing right off the bat, or first of all, continuing that storyline with Kyle O'Reilly and all them, like they were still kind of like fighting it off, but immediately showing that, hey, I'm not a joke. This is what I'm going to do now. Respect me or I'll choke your ass out. Right. And when you have good storyline driven progress like that, it's such logical booking, but it's great booking. And I thought Samoa Joe looked like $1 million during that segment.
I really did too. CWrestling, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think he looked amazing. And it's really hard to present someone that's not a wrestler or someone that could wrestle, especially when you have the knowledge that he probably isn't going to wrestle for health reasons. You can always sit there and go, oh, you want more. And with last night, especially, you just didn't feel like that. You felt like they gave you everything Joe could give.
Yeah, I wonder how many episodes they're going to be able to book Joe like this, where he's just going to be backstage breaking up fights and choking people out. I wonder how long they can do it. They're probably going to get a good month or two out of it before they got to do something more. And for that reason, I'm going to bring it back to our discussion about potentially having a match with Samoa Joe. I think they're building to a mega money match of Kross versus Joe. I legitimately do. And here's the reason why. They are still very much in the mindset that their NXT show is trying to compete with AEW. Even though they're not on the same nights, they're still trying to compete with AEW. They want the same stars that AEW is getting. They want the same viewers that AEW gets. And they want to crack that million threshold. I think that's what NXT is looking to do. And Samoa Joe clearly will help them do that. But to the live chat, once again, guys, if Samoa Joe were to come back and have a match, would you like to see it be against Karrion Kross? If that was the match, Botch Guy, would you love to see that?
I would love to see it.
You just don't think it's going to
happen. I just don't think he's going to be wrestling anytime soon. But like, you think about NXT, like think about some of the names that are like rumored to be either going down or at least like building up. Like you could. There's so many interesting factions and there's so many interesting groups down there that like we have Hit Row. I know Undisputed Era is dead, but the guys are still there, right? Like you have now obviously Samoa Joe and MSK. There's
Legado del Fantasma.
Yeah, like the Fantasma crew. Like I feel like NXT right now, like it doesn't matter what they do, it's just they create star after star after star, and it's then WWE dropping the ball with a lot of those stars, and they have to kind of rehabilitate like Finn Balor in NXT, right? So like I love NXT. I love what they're doing. Everything about NXT has been great. Like people were talking about AEW this garbage, whatever. I'll tell you this
garbage.
I'll tell you that. No, but AEW's been
shots fired.
I didn't mean the product was garbage. I'm talking about the ratings recently have been garbage, right?
Yeah, they have
500, what was it? 500, like 550. And I think majority of that's because of the move to Friday. But I'll say this, like, when you look, because you're talking ratings, right? You're talking the 1 million to the AEW. I'm telling you right now, everything NXT is touching right now is gold. And if the WWE, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, I guess they'll talk about SmackDown, it's too good. But if they follow some of that just basic generic stuff, like Damian Priest, like Damian Priest gets called up and does what? He's already a nobody. You know? Hey, chat. I want to look at you, chat. This is me. I'm looking at chat whenever I talk about. Hey, chat. What do you think about Damian Priest in the main roster? Let me know what you think.
Well, let me take over with this one here just for a second. With Damian Priest, I think that they had the right idea with him. They totally had the right idea, and then the zombie match blew up any momentum he had. people focused on the zombies. We're talking crap about the zombies, even though we all I think we all collectively were in the middle. Like, it was kind of stupid, but we understood why it happened. Like, it was funny, but it was ridiculous. And unfortunately, Damian Priest was caught in all of that. I also believe that WWE wants to position Damian Priest as the Money in the Bank winner. I don't know why, but I feel like they're trying to position him there as Money in the Bank winner and are going to eventually see him climb that ladder. So I think they still got big plans for Priest.
No, you cannot have Damian Priest with no proper booking and storyline driven.
Wait, did you just say no at the top of your lungs to Priest as Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
Really?
Who do you want? Damian Priest?
Why not?
He's raw. He's not ready yet.
Give him a year with the Money in the Bank, whatever that word is.
Here's a crazy idea. When a guy is still raw and he's at the middle of his roster, like middle of his talent,
but he's 37. He's not raw.
Listen, I'm talking about like when I mean raw, I don't mean his age. I just mean like I don't feel like there's anything that crazy stands out with him. It's not like you have a guy like Karrion Kross. Like, I would prefer to have a guy like Karrion Kross to win Money in the Bank than a guy like Damian Priest. I would prefer a guy have like Finn Balor than a guy have like Damian Priest. I would probably prefer to have Otis as a heel to win Money in the Bank again than Damian Priest. Maybe that's going a little too far. But Bray Wyatt, like, come on. Like, there's so many better options than Damian Priest. I'm not a Damian Priest hater. I like the guy.
You sound like a hater.
He's not ready. But he's not ready.
You said nothing good about him.
Okay, I'll say I like his look. I think his promos are fine. I think he has a really good entrance.
So what's wrong with him winning Money in the Bank?
He's not ready. He's not ready to be that guy yet. Like,
ask Botchy. Your dog will know. He will straight up know. He will take a treat out of your hand, and if you ask him,
and this isn't even a Damian Priest thing. This is a storyline thing. In my opinion, the best way to book in general is to build a guy up before they win something. You cannot have him go from eating zombies or whatever stupid zombie match, having him win one decent match on Monday Night Raw, and then all of a sudden winning Money in the Bank. It doesn't work unless you're.
He did beat a former WWE champion in The Miz, and then he did beat John Morrison the next night. They are not slouches. If you're looking to be building them up, just getting into that.
What? He won twice?
Yes, he did. He won with the zombies, and they had another battle royal the next night on Raw.
Oh, that was the next battle royal. How could I forget?
Or not battle royal. Sorry, over the top. Whatever.
Lumberjack.
That's the one. Something with like 30 people out there. CWrestling. We just kind of ignored you throughout all of this as we had our back and forth.
Right.
But like, how about your thoughts with Priest?
Botch Guy.
Okay.
Yes, chat agrees with me too. Everybody agrees with the Botch Guy. For once.
I think, like you said about give him a year with a case, and that's exactly what they did with Otis. And look what happened to Otis.
Yeah, but when you look at Otis, like, you can't compare Otis and Priest.
Yeah, you can. What do you mean?
You can. When he won Money in the Bank, he was so over with the fans. Then they lost the fans. They still kept the booking and gave him the briefcase, and they just didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, but it was
would be
Otis.
The exact same thing with Priest.
It was Otis right from the start. He was a comedic character.
But if you would have booked him in a world title match and had it credible that he could win, like they did with Cesaro,
okay, I'll agree with that.
You could easily have made him a star.
Okay, I will agree.
Booked him into that spot.
I will agree. Yeah, I will agree with that.
Damian Priest is not a comedic character. Tell me what he has done in his main roster. Didn't even
beat a former WWE champion in The Miz and then beat John Morrison the very next night. 2 nights in a row. Pay-per-view win. He had a freaking pay-per-view win.
He got overshadowed by Bad Bunny at WrestleMania.
He's still freaking Damian Priest. Oh, all right. I'll concede with this one. It's not a popular choice. All right. All right.
Second, my dog's barking. I'm going to stop my video for a second.
All right. Good. Finally, get out of here, you freaking
I still have my audio, asshole. All right. Muting my mic now.
All right. Thank God. Okay. So, like, clearly I'm in the minority here with Damian Priest, and that's more than okay. CWrestling, who would you have go and win Money in the Bank?
It's a tough one. I would go, and this is going to be really controversial, John Cena.
Shit all over Damian Priest, why don't you? What?
I think you can book it better. I think you've got a ready-made story there.
So you want to see John Cena come back, take down the briefcase, and go on to be champion again? Is that what you want?
No, I want him to face Roman Reigns in a match.
Okay.
At SummerSlam.
Okay, so
I think that's how you can book it.
Okay, that's good. I like the idea of Roman Reigns versus Cena for sure. And I get that Cena last time that he kind of was around at WrestleMania, he didn't want to put himself right in the title picture, and he was backing away from Bray Wyatt. Was that correct? Yeah, at the Firefly Funhouse.
Yeah.
So he was backing away from that. So I guess that's kind of keeping character with Cena. He needs to win something to get back to the title. But do you think that they really need to put the briefcase on Cena? Like, just out of the blue, random question to you.
I do, just because I think they want the press, they want the publicity, they want the hype. And it's literally the second event with fans back is Money in the Bank.
Right.
If you can get the headline of John Cena wins Money in the Bank for a whole month, then you can tease, is he going to beat Ric Flair's record? You know,
right.
he can come out on SmackDown the day that fans return, like he's rumored to. And you could have him literally stand in that ring, challenge Roman, and Roman just go, no, I've beat you before. I'm not going to face you now. And Cena has to enter Money in the Bank because how else does he get to Roman Reigns?
Okay. All right. It's definitely a good story, and I understand where you're coming from. I guess I'm going to have a tough time getting over the idea that Cena coming back, who doesn't necessarily need the briefcase to get to Roman Reigns, would take up that spot, right? That would be my only worry, because I don't know who else you have on, let's say, Monday Night Raw, who could go after Bobby Lashley for the WWE Championship right now and truly feel on that level. Like they've got Randy Orton, which they seem to be going back to anytime that they don't have anything. They're probably going to do Riddle in the future. But there's really nobody else. And that makes me nervous for Monday Night Raw. Like, I hope Keith Lee maybe comes back. He would be an awesome option for Money in the Bank as well. But it would just be, they need some more main eventers on Raw. And if Cena does return and he does win Money in the Bank, sure, the story and the headlines might be there, but I think it might be at the cost of building a new star with live fans, because live fans seeing Mr. Money in the Bank are going to be very invested in him right from the start.
Yeah, I agree.
But regardless, man, it's a cool thought of John Cena coming back and definitely getting that money match with Roman Reigns. If they do end up going to SummerSlam with that, that's got to be a main event and has to be the true passing of the torch to Roman Reigns from Cena.
Yeah, I think Cena's been the face of WWE for a long time. Even when he's not been there, he's still been the face.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Roman's always sort of been in his shadow. And I think if you give him that big win on that big stage, like, what was they saying? 70,000 fans at SummerSlam?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's going to be crazy, isn't it?
And they want to treat it like this year's WrestleMania as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Really quick question for everybody here in the live chat after that bit of conversation there. Who would you guys like to see win Money in the Bank? We'll try to take a look at the chat here in just a few seconds. Botch Guy is back. Yeah, you got a person? All right, Botchy?
I think Bray Wyatt, the Fiend, should make his beautiful comeback, winning Money in the Bank. I would be happy with that. Or they could do something really, 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 really crazy and have some sort of massive return, like The Rock.
The Rock. Well, CWrestling
on the same night.
Did you hear what CWrestling was saying about John Cena? Botch Guy? No, you didn't?
No.
So CWrestling was suggesting that maybe John Cena comes back, wins Money in the Bank, and goes on to face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. And the idea is, does John Cena win his 17th championship?
Yeah, it's way better than The Rock. Let's go with that. Let's do that one.
All right. Awesome. So Botch Guy and CWrestling are definitely on the same page when it comes to Money in the Bank here.
Well, who do you have? Oh, you have Damian
Damian Priest. Watch. I ain't watched this, guys. He's going to win it, and I'm going to rub it in both of your faces. It's going to happen.
We have The Rock. We have John Cena. We have Bray Wyatt. And we have Damian Priest.
Can I remind you of something between those four people? Only one of them is active in WWE right now.
Yeah, it really helped
right now. Is he active, though? When was the last time he was on Raw?
Damian Priest? Whatever that last match was. It was like, what, a month ago? Something like that?
Don't worry, Conman, just to let you know, I just ordered you a Damian Priest shirt.
Dude, love it.
I'm gonna have you wear on stream. Actually, this is the new Lucha. We just gotta come up with a catch for a nice hand gestures for Damian Priest. What does he do? Like the
whatever this thing, like whatever that thing is, he does.
Every time you talk about him, he just do this.
There you go. Just full on like that every time. But let's get a little bit back here to NXT and what makes it truly so good. Because we've been talking a little bit about Money in the Bank and the speculation of who might win it. But when it comes to NXT, there's not a lot of speculation, is there? It's one of those shows that is just They announce what they're going to do and they deliver. How do you think that they could replicate what they do in NXT to make it work on the main roster? CWrestling, any ideas?
I disagree about the speculation thing. I think recently they're really trying to capture that.
They got it with sorry to interrupt. They got it with Samoa Joe, but what's the other ones?
You got Diamond Mine.
Okay.
Even last night you had the thing with that battery. Everyone's talking about the battery. What's the battery?
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Actually, 100%. Then yeah, you're right.
So I think they're really trying to start doing that speculation stuff because it does get people talking. But yeah, I think the difference is the writing team. I think they just head and shoulders above whatever the main roster's got, and I think they're booking better stories and telling it a better way. Like you look at the stories like Cameron Grimes and LA Knight and Ted DiBiase. Like I know you said it 100 times. That should be on Raw. Mm-hmm. That's one of those big stories, and they're just letting it play out in NXT. You're not going to be able to duplicate that when Cameron goes to the main roster. No. So it's a very strange one because NXT is seen by like a third of the people that watch Raw, yet these massive stories are playing out there, and it's very bizarre.
It really is. Botch Guy, anything to add to that?
Everything. Just copy everything. Maybe take the whole roster. Transfer everybody. No, you know what? Everything the NXT seems to be doing right now from the production, even like it's not just the hinting of the kind of like the new up and coming storylines or like Diamond Mine, or maybe the hinting of like the battery, like who could this big return be? It's how they present anything. Like when Eva Marie was coming back, I know everybody was so excited. When Eva Marie was coming back, like they could have had a little hint in there with Piper Niven, like throw an Easter egg in there, something, I don't know, maybe her little cat ear thing, whatever she had, or whatever, just throw something and then get the conversation started. So everybody knew Eva Marie was going to come back. And then they did the promo, coming soon. Same thing. It was just different types of styles of promo, basically the same thing. Oh, intrigued there. Everybody knows it's going to come back. That's why I really like the Aleister Black stuff that they were doing with Smackdown, because there was such great intrigue.
So
you didn't know where it was going to go. And then when he attacked Big E, if you look at my reaction, it's still up there probably. I was excited to see Black back, but then I was like, why? Why did he come back and just randomly attack Big E? You could have done backstage stuff. You could have done like attacking someone in his house or something. I don't know. Like you could have done something crazy stuff.
You didn't like that, eh? You didn't like that?
No, I didn't like that he came back generically with a normal, and just comes out like a normal entrance after all those scary dark vignettes. Like imagine the Undertaker coming back and then he doesn't have the like gong hit. He just comes out and starts walking out in basic entrance, and there's nothing after like all these dark promos against some random intercontinental champion. For me, you got to think bigger. I think that's what they're trying to do with Alexa Bliss, but they're CWrestling. Can I ask you a question? Can I be a host for a second? CWrestling.
No.
And I know we'll talk, because this is so much better than just a review show, by the way.
Yeah.
We can talk like
much better. Much better.
And it's more interactive. And by the way, you should be wearing blue. Just to let you know. And just to let you know.
Not a fan of my gray, all right.
Wrestling, take off that Hawaiian shirts, okay, and boxer briefs, okay? Come on, man. This is a live YouTube.
The best thing about not being on camera is I can sit here in boxers, and you guys have got no ideas.
Yeah. You're probably new, to be honest.
He's probably got a drink in one hand, a big old gar in another one, like just living life.
I don't even know what I was.
What was your question that you're going to ask him? No.
What was I talking about?
You were going to ask CWrestling a question.
About Alexa
you asked if you could be the host for a sec.
Alexa Bliss. What's your opinion on the storyline right now with Shayna?
I think what they did this week was much better than what they've been doing on the playground. I think the playground has been okay, but I think it should have been over 1 or 2 weeks. Like, it hasn't done anything for her. And I think that match with Nia Jax this week 100% showed her character. It developed the story. This whole possession thing's a bit weird, but how's that going to play out? What's it going to do for her long term? And I think they should have just done this from the start.
I agree.
Fair enough, guys. Sorry, continue. Keep going there, Botch.
No, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt, for real. I'll say this. I had a theory. I said it before CWrestling did. My first ever theory that I think it's going to happen. CWrestling, you ready? You have to judge this theory out of 10. Okay?
Out of 10.
Alexa Bliss right now is brainwashing managers and wrestlers, and she's going to brainwash like 3 or 4 of them and create her own stable by brainwashed people like zombies.
I think you're right, but I think there's more to it.
I'm sure there's more to it, but that's the main concept. She's gonna build a stable out of brainwashed people, baby.
Ooh.
I think someone's already said this theory, by the way. Just saying.
What? When?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, Botch Guy sweeping through Reddit got called out.
You stole my Samoa Joe video. You stole my Samoa Joe potential return. Now this?
It's awful, isn't it?
Come up with original ideas.
Copies my thumbnail that I took from WWE.com. I'm kidding. I've never did such a thing like that.
No, never, clearly. Like, not to completely just interrupt you two guys, but like, do you want to keep talking a little bit more about Alexa Bliss? Do you have some more theories there? Because you guys are the two theory people here.
I'm a theory person.
You are a little bit. You drop theories every time you come in here.
That's because I just like talking. Hey, talking about something completely random, not to do with anything. Go follow Twitter on Conman.
Oh.
Conman Twitter. Go follow CWrestling on Twitter. And go follow me on Twitter because I am 1 away from 700.
Whoa, you're moving up there quick, boy.
So that's like in a month. That's not bad. So I'm really excited. So if one of you guys are my 700, just type in 700. If you're not 700, just type in 701. That's okay. You can still stay.
What if I unfollow you right now? Can you like be 2 away from 700? Is that a thing?
Everybody spam.
Okay, all right. He did not want to acknowledge that one. But yeah, with NXT getting back down there, like we were talking a little bit about Cameron Grimes and LA Knight and how good that has been and how it should have been something like that on the main roster. And I think that this is a good conversation point right here because with NXT, they have all these new characters that are coming through and they're trying to get them over. And that means they got to establish characters for them. And I think that they're starting to run into a bit of a problem with NXT. It is so damn good, but it's so damn good because a lot of these characters are ready. Like the moment that they get called to WWE, they shouldn't need more than like a month in the Performance Center learning the camera angles and then being sent off to Raw or SmackDown. Like Cameron Grimes, the former Trevor Lee, was so ready for the main roster when he came in. He already had a character picked out. He's been fantastic everywhere that he's went. And I think that these problems that we're starting to see could become bigger problems down the line if they keep getting these characters like Hit Row, like Legado del Fantasma, like even Karrion Kross over as much as they are on NXT. It might get to the point where when they get called up, nobody cares because they have already seen it. So how do we fix this problem with NXT, Botch Guy? Any idea?
Can I rant?
Yes, you can.
I actually had a guy hit me up the other day and said, you know what? Hit Row is just a copy of the Street Profits with a girl added into the group. And I remember, wow, well, my camera didn't.
Even your camera didn't like that take.
So, and I'm like, it drives me crazy. I don't know about you guys. It drives me crazy when you see two people that are similar as in like say Otis, right? Like you have Otis, a big, kind of chunky looking guy, right? Kind of like me. And then I say I get debuted and some guy says I'm just a copy of Otis because I look, thing. And just because you have these urban, amazing urban kind of style, like this amazing urban new group, right? Just because there's another group that has like urban influences doesn't make them copies of the other group. Everybody has their own individual personalities and everything. Hit Row is awesome. It's unique. Everything about Hit Row is just brilliant. I love it. And I know Conman is a huge fan. Did you guys know he's actually a member of Hit Row?
Now you know.
You guys know that? Now you know. He's going to actually right now, because all of them freestyle at the beginning of their songs or whatever, he's actually going to do a freestyle for you guys right now for 10 seconds. So I'll just crack them. Hit Row.
I'm Con. Yes, I am. Say it again. Hit Row. Yes, let's do it. I'm Con, man. Yes, sir. I don't know. I'm not a freestyler. Why would you do this to me, Botch Guy? You suck. You suck. Suck a big fat. Oh, no. I don't know what I'm doing. Conman is so white. Why would you do this to me? All right, back to you, Botch Guy.
Conman got demonetized.
Why would you do that to me? I'm the whitest kid out of the three of us. And we got a kid from the UK and we got a kid from Vancouver. And somehow I'm the whitest of the three, okay? Like, this is, you can't, come on. But, so, like, CWrestling, are you a fan of Hit Row? I don't know how to transition out of that.
I think they're great. And before anyone challenges me, I'm not doing any freestyling at all. I'm just putting that out there right now. But
because you can't freestyle CWrestling.
Botch Guy, okay, well then, Botch Guy, you gonna call out CWrestling, say he can't freestyle? I freestyled for you. It wasn't very good, but still, Botch Guy, it's your turn now.
Every single day I come to the chat, I look at you guys and it's all damn fat. I see Alexander chilling with the crew. It doesn't matter what he types in, what he really does or does. It doesn't really do it. Every single damn day I'm going to do it. All I do it. Lucha, Lucha, Lucha. It is Conman's favorite group. Does he know that they don't even like to eat some soup?
What the like... Where did we pick you up? Where did I find you?
Yo, these painkillers are sick.
Yeah. I don't even know where to go with it from there.
Instant Classic is my new biggest fan. What's up, Instant?
The bars guy over here. Like,
holy
I can't
crap.
Freestyle. No, that was, it worked. You made a few rhymes. I somehow rhymed man with man. That was my best rhyme that I had. So, Botch Guy, you got that one. Let's turn it back over to you, CWrestling. I'm not going to ask you to freestyle, but you were talking a little bit about Hit Row. You're a fan of them?
Yeah, I think they're good. I honestly can never remember their names, but I think that's the thing in time that it'll just stick with who's who. I think they just do. I think they're okay. I agree with you. I think they should be put straight onto the main roster though.
So Swerve Scott, just his whole debut, like of that Hit Row group, that should have been the debut on the main roster. You didn't know who these people were. Like you've got B-Fab, who is the girl. You've got Swerve Scott. You have Ashante Adonis, and you have Top Dollar AJ Francis, I believe that's his name. And those four guys, like those four people together, would have been fantastic on the main roster. And it's because of NXT, and I hate to say it, NXT is so damn good because they're getting a lot of the acts that should be on Raw or SmackDown right from the get-go. Frankie Monet should not be in NXT. She should be on Raw or SmackDown. It's a problem, but it's a good problem to have because WWE can lean into any of these talents. And if they are willing to write them from the start, they're willing to absolutely commit to these characters, maybe they'll get something good out of NXT. Is it the lack of commitment, Botch Guy, do you think, on the main roster that is ruining some of these characters when they get called up?
I think it's the lack of creative storytelling for these characters. I even got to give credit to like something like AEW, like some of the unique stuff they do backstage. I like some of these street fights. I like how some of the spots they do, like they do different stuff. Even like the other day with the forklift, like I love that type of stuff. I thought at the end of NXT, the limo was going to blow up. I know CWrestling was thinking the same. CWrestling was thinking the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be funny? Like that would have been so funny. Like I don't care who says what about it being, oh my God, it's so fake or whatever. Like that would have just been such a childhood moment for all of us watching a limo explode and just reminding us about Vince McMahon being in that limo.
Maybe he was in that limo. Vince McMahon.
Maybe that's why WWE is shit now because Vince McMahon died all those years ago and has been an imposter Vince ever since.
It's
maybe that's
he's
what the
immortal.
is.
What does that see?
Maybe that's what the battery is.
Oh, there you go.
See, he's immortal, right? You just gotta hook him up straight to his veins, man.
Vince is gonna be the.
Sorry, did you see that picture of Vince recently? Like he's ripped, man. He's so huge.
Oh my God, his muscle mass just incredible for somebody who's like in his late 70s, or is he in his 80s yet? Late 70s or 80s? Anybody know?
I'll say 78 years old.
78. CWrestling, you got to guess. All right.
I think 70s.
I'm sure the live chat's going to let us know how old Vince McMahon is. But
how old's Vince?
The idea of him recharging his battery is pretty funny. Let's talk about that. About to turn 76, says Steve Taylor here. 76 says Instant Classic, so 76. So we're pretty close. The battery. Any ideas? Botch Guy, CWrestling?
I don't know.
I think RoboCop.
Oh. Sorry, C, go ahead.
Oh, I think RoboCop. I think they're bringing him back.
Oh, RoboCop.
Yeah.
That sounds way better than my idea. I was just thinking that was like my phone after my trivia nights. That usually happens.
Just
10%.
reminding you to charge it.
Yeah, basically. I don't know. Maybe that's a Diamond Mine thing.
Yeah, maybe.
No, but they're coming.
I don't see the
week,
correlation. Yeah, so Diamond Mine's going to be here next week. We'll talk
what
about them
is
in a
Diamond
sec.
Mine?
Well, actually, you know what? Let's transition to that right now. Then we'll talk about the battery again in a hot moment here. But Diamond Mine, do you think it is a new faction? Do you think it is a new thing that NXT is going to have backstage, like Raw Underground? Do you think it's going to be something different? Let's start with Botch Guy.
I think it's going to be not Raw Underground, but I think it's going to be a new concept for NXT to get over new talent in a unique, special way. Maybe they'll have some pickaxes and they can start mining there, get ripped, and then get called up to the main roster and be the next Damian Priest. That's what I'm hoping for.
And Botch Guy will not like him anymore. CWrestling, your thoughts on the Diamond Mine?
I think it's going to be something MMA based, but I think it's going to still tie into the actual main NXT roster.
Okay.
So my thoughts is some kind of faction that fight amongst themselves. So like who gets what match and who gets what title shot, and they fight in the Diamond Mine and then go and do whatever match they need to do on the NXT show.
Neat. I like that. I'm right there with you guys. I think it's going to be some sort of not necessarily backstage thing, but like you said, like a Raw Underground or an MMA style, something that is going to be a little bit more raw, like not the show Raw, but just the Raw feel, just like one single camera, kind of how Raw Underground was, darker. Maybe there'll be ropes, maybe there won't be, maybe it's just a training ground, maybe it's just a gym. I don't know, but I think it'll be something like that.
I have a crazy theory.
All right. See, theory, but Botch Guy, the theory guy over here.
I'm not the theory guy. I have a crazy theory though. What if this is going to be an announcement that NXT is starting a second show? And it's called NXT Diamond Mine, and then you could have 2 shows for NXT.
See, I think that's a cooler idea if NXT UK didn't exist and if they weren't planning on doing NXT India and weren't planning on doing NXT Japan. I think that's a decent idea if that wasn't the case, but NXT is already becoming its own brand and they're going to keep expanding it all across the world, trying to monopolize the independent wrestling scene. So I think it could work. I'm not dismissing it. It could be a cool thing.
It's just an idea.
But yeah, just an idea. I don't think that's the case with all the other NXTs going on, but hey, you never know. Live chat, any ideas for what the Diamond Mine is? Do you think it's a faction? Do you think it's a new part of NXT? Do you think it's just like a training area? What is it? Let us know here in the live chat. CWrestling, any more theories here with Diamond Mine?
A second show would be fun. I know you said about NXT UK, but I don't think that does exist in the WWE universe. Look at the way they treated Piper Niven.
Good point.
Like they literally.
That's
have you
true.
seen their parent name? They're going to call her
Dewdrop.
Yeah. Like why?
Oh my God. Is that Dewdrop?
See, like, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Do not get me wrong. I don't hate it, though. It's funny, isn't it? Dewdrop. Look at her,
great.
and here
That's
comes the Dewdrop.
Yeah.
Like,
We're gonna call her Poo Drop after like a week. It's awful. It's the worst name.
oh, they could do better.
Worse than T-Bar. Worse than T-Bar.
Yeah, they could do better, no doubt about it. But CWrestling continuing on there?
Yeah, I just think a second show would be fun. Especially if you put it on the network and you got rid of restrictions. The only thing is, if it's going to be an MMA style based show, I don't know how well that's going to transition, because we all know wrestling isn't, real. It's scripted and all that stuff. And if you try and say that this is a legitimate fight, well, then why do they then go into an NXT or WWE ring and fight for fame?
Yeah.
It's a very hard thing to kind of get around kayfabe.
And I think that they could definitely modernize. Like, I hate saying the word modernize, because Raw Underground, I thought was a pretty cool concept. They just needed to tinker with it a little bit. I think that if they modernize the Raw Underground concept, make it work for NXT, I think that they've got something. They could definitely do, and I was saying back in the day with Raw Underground, if they introduced a ranking system, like a top 10 rankings, where you fight your way into the top 10, You have like a 2-3 minute match with a time limit, introduce win, loss, draw records, and maybe down the line, if you wanted to, have a Raw Underground Championship. That was my idea for back then. And I think if you take 3 of those 4, lose the championship idea, take those 3, the ratings, the win-loss record, and moving up and down, all that stuff there in NXT, it could work. I hope that's the case with this, but I legitimately don't have a clue with Diamond Mine.
Let me say one more thing. I have another crazy theory of mine. It's no, definitely not going to happen. But what if this is a new faction that potentially you could have someone like Simone Johnson be a part of, and then eventually, because there have been rumors that The Rock said he wants to go and be on at least one NXT show before he's done. Maybe it would be a great way to introduce Simone Johnson by having The Rock,
the Pebble,
there, right? And introducing her, and also giving The Rock kind of like what he wanted to go on NXT. So I don't know if that's Diamond Mine related, but I think just something that popped in my head because I heard that Simone's doing a great job in the Performance Center. Apparently, people saying that she's getting pretty close to ready to be on at least the NXT roster. So
good.
I think that would be a really interesting way. Maybe you can even have Simone Johnson low blow The Rock or something.
Heel turn.
Make her a heel.
She.
So like pretend like, oh, this is the legacy or with us, and then turn on him at the last second. I think that would be kind of cool, right? So
I'm a fan.
Remember with Charlotte Flair, she never like said I'm not a part of like they had promos that she's not not lifting like Rick or whatever, but like she never did anything to Rick like on NXT. So
did she not? Hang on.
I think so.
Hang on. I can't remember. Didn't she turn heel when she was the women's was she face or heel the entire time she was women's champion? Now I'm blanking. CWrestling, do you have any idea?
She was heel if I remember correctly, because didn't she have the match with Natalya where Rick was in her corner and Brett was in Natalya's, and Natalya was the face in that, so I'm sure she was heel.
Yeah, I just can't remember if like after that, like if they ended up turning her babyface or not. Ladies and gentlemen, when did she
get the entrance? When did she get like the Flair part of her entrance?
Right from the get-go. They had the remixed Ric Flair theme song for her, I'm pretty sure, right from the start. Some people are saying heel in the live chat here, that she was mostly a heel throughout her career. Do we even remember who took the NXT title off of Charlotte Flair? So now I'm blanking. Was it Bayley? Huh. Botch Guy's going to look it up.
Years ago.
I'm Googling it. I'm on Google duty.
The Google man.
Sure. No.
Nia Jax.
It was Sasha Banks. Okay.
Totally off.
All right, so Sasha took it, and then Bayley took it from Sasha. That's what happened, right? So Sasha was the baby... Was she babyface? No, Charlotte was face then, because Sasha was heel, right? God, this is a long time ago. In the Fatal 4-Way, maybe? Like...
I'm wrong. When she made her in-ring debut on NXT or WWE NXT, she was introduced by Ric Flair. And then they had that match where she won against Bayley.
Yeah, I just can't remember if she ended up turning on Rick or doing something down in NXT. I know they've obviously had their stuff on the main roster, but legitimately cannot remember. Well, some people in the live chat are either going to let us know or we'll look it up at a later time. But regardless, Charlotte Flair had an awesome run down there in NXT. And I forget what your original point was there, Botch Guy.
I don't remember. I don't know what I even say half the time.
Well, what do you say we transition to the battery talk then? CWrestling, any theories?
No idea. No idea at all. It could be absolutely anything.
Botch Guy?
Getting like deja vu right now. RoboCop.
Did I? Oh, that's right. We did ask this a little bit earlier. Then we were going to come back to it. That's right. Sorry, my bad, guys. We were going to come back to it. That's what it was.
Copyright CWrestling. I'm stealing it.
Sometimes my brain is brutal with my memory. But yeah, possibly RoboCop. I don't know. Legitimate. It could be, who was that guy? Ridge Holland. It could be a Ridge Holland. He's charging back up. I don't know. Just random theories. Could be even, what's his name? Kona Reeves. I know NXT is pretty high on Kona Reeves right now. He's been producing some good stuff in the Performance Center. So it could be Kona Reeves related. It could also be somebody random off of the indies. If you were a betting man, Botch Guy, who do you think?
I raise my hand because I was at an NXT event here in Vancouver, and Kona Reeves was one of the participants in there, and he was going against No Way Jose, who was over like holy lord, like you have no idea how over he was. And pretty packed building, I would say 80%. And Kona Reeves came out, and for some reason, I don't know why people dislike them, but he got X-Pac heat, man. Like, for some reason, people hated this guy, and I never understood why. So, like, why do people dislike Kona Reeves? Like, what is the...
Well, with Kona Reeves, he did a fantastic job in making a gimmick that was detestable. He was known as the finest Kona Reeves, and his theme song was all about being the finest, and he was wearing these sunglasses that were ridiculous, and he was posting himself like he's the most beautiful man in the world. And then, no offense to Kona Reeves, but then he takes those glasses off, and you just look at him, and it makes you want to punch him in the face. He's like talking about how good looking he is. He's the finest with this, only the finest watches, only this and that. And then he takes his face off, and he just has one of those faces that makes you want to punch him. So I think maybe that's the effect. Kona Reeves just getting that nuclear heat that way.
I miss No Way Jose, and I don't mean that as a joke. I legitimately think he was one of the most underutilized talents in the WWE. I would take 20 No Way Jose's. Well, I'll take one No Way Jose over 20 luchadors or lucha house parties. I'm telling you.
Yeah, me too. Why would you want 20 lucha house parties on your show? Are you trying to make the show better or worse?
On the other hand, maybe 20 lucha house parties would be better, especially when Conman streams.
God, my streams, I would just get so many freaking lucha bombs constantly. Like,
you guys remember how mad he was when there was like this big, massive moment? I don't know what it was, some big return, and Con apparently, like, I saw the reaction thing. I wasn't there live, but apparently, like, someone dropped the lucha there, and you were so pissed. You were like, so pissed.
They were timing it. They're waiting for the big moment on the night. It's here. The promo's going, and then lucha. I'm like, oh my God, it's my nightmare come to real life. It's like I literally wake up in the middle of the night and just faintly hear lucha just playing in the background. It's not right. I'm gonna need therapy.
That's Botch Guy outside your window.
Oh yeah. Botchy, if I ever see you outside my window with a big boombox, I am calling the cops. I'm letting you know that right now.
I'll just be behind the window doing this.
That's even scarier. I open the window, I just see, like, come on. But with NXT here, I think we've pretty much talked about what we really, really enjoy about it. Let's take one step further. What do you think NXT could do to improve itself even more? It's already a fantastic show, but if you could make one change to the show, CWrestling, what would your change be, if you could?
I think they need to announce that certain superstars are NXT Forever. People like Adam Cole, Ciampa, Gargano. I don't think they're actually ever going to get called up to the main roster. I'm going to be proven wrong in a few weeks, probably. But, you know, I think you should...
Oh, sorry. We just got a lucha bomb and it's so loud. Ow. Literally got a lucha bomb here in the chat. What are you doing? Welcome back to the show. Thank you for that freaking lucha bomb, whoever the hell that was. What were you saying, though, Botch Guy?
I saw the chat for a second. My chat. On the video.
Oh yeah. That sounds good.
No. I saw it on stream.
You saw the lucha thing, okay?
No.
What are you talking about? I'm so confused.
CWrestling. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No idea.
Chat. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, just tell us. What are you talking about?
You had my chat, like you moved it. It was on your camera, so everybody could see my chat. Luckily, I said nice things.
Well, like, now you can see it. If I post it over there, he's having fun. I didn't mean to. Sorry, Botchy.
I don't mind. I'm just saying. I'm just letting you know it's a botch. I'm trying to say that's a botch because I'm the botch guy and I notice these things.
Gotcha. So Conman botched here, and Botch Guy just calling me right out in the middle of our stream, like gonna put me on blast over here, Mr. Botchy. But yeah, we got some more stuff here. I guess we can talk about NXT. Let's talk about Karrion Kross as champion. Are you guys fans of him in the live chat? Are you a fan of Karrion Kross? And CWrestling, we're going to start with you. How do you like his presentation against Regal, and how did you like his presentation against Samoa Joe?
brilliant. Do you know what? When he sort of came to NXT, being this supernatural sort of character, I think it worked, but it's very limited. And while he's in NXT, they definitely needed to explore more avenues for him. Mm-hmm. And I think they found it with this gladiator kind of gimmick. It's amazing. The fact that he went into that match on Sunday and literally he beat everyone, you know, who's going to be the person to face him? And that's the question. You're making him almost like the Roman Reigns of NXT, and I like that.
Mm-hmm. Botch Guy, you liking him as well?
Yes, I think he's the full package, to be completely honest. I think he would be more over as a face on the main roster than a heel. I don't know, man. Like, he's weird because his character like screams heel, but I want to cheer for him. So I'm in a weird kind of jingle jangle
way. Were you a fan of the fact that he went over all the big players in NXT in the Fatal 5-Way? I know it was kind of mixed reception. I was a big fan of it, but what were your guys' thoughts? Botch Guy, start with you.
Yes, if he keeps the title when he gets called up to the main roster and retires it, or gets rid of it that way. I don't want to see him lose on the NXT ever again.
See wrestling?
Yeah, I think you should have him stay undefeated. He is undefeated in NXT, and I think going to Raw or SmackDown, keep him undefeated.
Yep, I 100% agree. Keep him undefeated. Give him the Asuka treatment.
Yeah, and if you keep him undefeated, just because you did Asuka doesn't mean you can't do something similar with thing. It's a completely different person. It's not that you copy the storyline. Different person, different personality, different everything, different things. You can still do an undefeated type storyline, and it gives him credibility. So when he does get called up, man, you can immediately put him against those big bone guys, like the big guys, the top guys in the company, and not bat your head. Like, would someone really bat their head if Karrion Kross stepped up, won Money in the Bank, and then challenged Roman Reigns on the pay-per-view the next after? Like, would it? It's not probably the best idea storyline wise, but like, would
it's
you
certainly
guys
not
be
the worst.
Like if you saw him in the middle of the ring, would you be like, oh, this guy doesn't fit here? No, he has credibility. He's big. He's strong. Great entrance. He has a great manager. Good talker. Like,
yeah,
charisma.
Kross is everything I think Vince wants on his main roster right now, and it's only a matter of time before Karrion Kross gets called up. His injury, I think, actually was a blessing in disguise, because while he was out there, obviously, you know, NXT built up the rest of their roster, which was really good. But now we're getting this monster run of Karrion Kross this much later. And it's also closer to live crowds, so it's going to be even better for Kross down the line. CWrestling, anything more here to add to Karrion Kross?
Yeah, I think when they call him up to the main roster, I think he should go to Raw. And I think he needs to face The Fiend. And I know that's kind of like a fantasy dream match kind of thing. But I think you can write a perfect story there where The Fiend loses to Kross, and then have Scarlett wrestle as well. Okay. And have Scarlett go after Alexa Bliss, have her defeat Alexa Bliss, and make The Fiend and Alexa have to reunite because they have to take on this new threat. You've got so many potential amazing stories for Kross.
I see what you're doing there. Yeah, using the catalyst of Kross and Scarlett to get Bliss and The Fiend back together. And I see how you're getting there. Yeah, I don't think I would be using Kross and Scarlett right away to go up against The Fiend, just because you would want to get The Fiend reintroduced. But I love the idea of that being a money match down the line. They've got money matches with Demon Finn Balor versus The Fiend, and they've got Karrion Kross versus The Fiend that they could work. And you could even do Finn Balor. You could do normal Finn Balor and then Demon Finn Balor at some point if you wanted to. Like, the story could really play out. Don't forget,
the story with Balor and Kross was actually the first time they've mentioned the demon on TV for a long time.
Mm-hmm, I noticed that too.
It was Balor. Yeah, Balor was saying how, you know, he can control the demon now. That's why he doesn't need the demon. You know, he can control those emotions. Losing to Kross the way he has, who says he can control him anymore? So it's a perfect catalyst to bring the demon back as well.
Oh, cool. Botch Guy, I saw you kind of shaking your head over there. What's your thoughts?
I don't disagree with CWrestling often this stream. I do agree with you, Conman, that down the road, I think this would make a hell of a lot more sense. But CWrestling, my buddy. Mm-hmm. Bray Wyatt, The Fiend right now, he can't keep losing. He can't keep losing.
As long as you
can't have him lose every single time.
You know me. I'm the biggest Bray Wyatt fan on this stream right now. 100%. But the losing does not matter in his story at all. And that's been the story since day one.
It does when he loses more than Hornswoggle. Like, come on. Like, you cannot have him lose every time. Like, he
doesn't matter.
Wins.
Doesn't matter. Everyone complains that he lost the championship and everything, right? And stuff like that because, you know, he won. He kicked out from Goldberg's first spear and all this stuff. And it's like, that's not true. The man literally pulled the Universal Championship out of a toy box in the Firefly Funhouse. He does not care. And the losing, the championships, they're not part of the story. The story is revenge and the story is about violence. And that's what will happen eventually to every one of his opponents.
Yes, storyline-wise, I agree with you. But the fans, the ones who are paying the money, watching the show, watching on a weekly basis because they're so addicted that they have Sasha Banks glow hollow cups in their rooms. These people...
What was that word?
These people want to cheer and be excited for the Fiend. They want to cheer. You want to know why the reaction was so negative? I know you liked it, but like, you know why majority of the people hated that WrestleMania reaction? It's because people want to cheer for the Fiend. They love him. They love Bray Wyatt. They love his character. They love everything about him. And they just wanted to have him that big return win because they like him so much. And if you have him lose over and over and over, it's hard to get behind a person like that. Eventually, it's going to wear on you if you lose so often. He needs some wins, in my opinion.
I agree with you,
The only reason the Fiend exists is because Bray Wyatt lost for 3 years. That's it. That's the catalyst of the Fiend. The story's called Revenge is a Confession of Pain. He has to confess pain, experience pain to get revenge. That's the whole motto of his story.
I think... CWrestling, continue.
I was going to say, I think it's one of those stories where you have to like horror as a genre to enjoy it, because if you're just simply looking at it from a wrestling fan point of view, I agree with you, you're not going to like it. But if you're looking at it from a horror fan point of view, how many times in a horror movie do you see the slasher or the horror person win? They don't. They lose. They die. They do whatever. The horror character shouldn't win that way all the time.
Like, I definitely like where you're going with that thought process there, CWrestling, but when we have people like Kane in the history of WWE, I struggle to agree with that. I think that the reason why certain characters are iconic in the world of wrestling is because they do win from time to time. And yes, the story of him losing and that being his story is all fine and dandy, and by the time his career is over, I'm sure we're going to look back on it and say, wow, that was a lot of fun. But the reality of it is that us fans, when you're watching the show, you don't want to constantly see the character that you're rooting for to win the story lose the story. And
how long was Kane's championship run?
Good question. How long was it?
I think it was a day.
He's had more than just that, though.
Oh, he's had other title runs, but his first championship win was really, really short. It might not be a day, it might be a week or something like that, but it was really, really short. And it didn't hurt him. He lost matches all the time. So did Undertaker.
Yeah, but he would still win the occasional big thing, which is what Bray Wyatt is missing right now with his character. He's losing the feuds that he should be losing to progress the feud forward. But in the end, you need something to catalyst, like to be the catalyst. You're speaking about it, right? Being catalyst. Mm-hmm. He needs something to launch his career to the next part. And like, I'm not necessarily saying he needs to go after championships. Undertaker was around for years and years and years, and I think he was only a 4-time champion. I might be wrong on that number, but he wasn't champion very often. So I agree with you that he doesn't need to constantly win all the time, and he doesn't need to hold on to championships, and championships don't matter and all that. But what does matter to people is wins and losses. And WWE can act all they want like wins and losses do not work or do not matter in their world. But for certain characters, it definitely does. And
okay.
Yeah, continue there.
Okay, let me rephrase that. Okay, so if wins and losses matters, The Fiend's been pinned twice since 2019.
Okay, that's good then. That's awesome. Is that all he's been pinned?
People say he loses all the time. He's only been pinned twice. And like one of those defeats, there's
How many
3 defeats,
matches?
but one of the there's 3 losses that he's had.
Okay.
I know. I don't know how many matches he's had. The Seth Rollins one, he technically won with the Hell in a Cell. And the one at TLC when he was set on fire, he was just set on fire, so he's not pinned.
Technically, wasn't it a no contest and the match was called at Hell in a Cell?
No, apparently they awarded it to The Fiend, if you read WWE.com.
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird. That's really weird. I don't, yeah. So how many matches, Botch Guy, did you find?
I don't know, but like I see like Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt. Randy wins. And Randy Orton, this is all like in a row. Randy Orton versus The Fiend. Randy wins, right? And then Bray Wyatt drew with Randy Orton. And then The Fiend did win. He picked up a win on SmackDown. Oh,
there's that phone call. Well, you know what, guys? That's a great way to kind of end this thing here. Botch Guy has to go for his phone call, and this is a nice way where we can kind of close off the show. So we want to know your guys' thoughts here. Oh, as my cam just kind of went crazy. Yeah, everything is messing up here. Botch Guy leaving. So, hi guys, how you doing? You can see just a little bit of my face. Thank you very much for watching. We will definitely talk more about this in future weeks. This is a lot of fun. CWrestling, thank you so much for joining me. Before we leave, do you have anything that you would like to plug to these people?
Yeah, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a live stream at 2K20 late in the evening UK time. And it's the revenge on whatever that big long turd thing they've got in the games called Ribby.
Nice. There you go. So everybody make sure you check out CWrestling's channel. Drop a subscription over there. Also, if you guys, once again, hi from my little tiny little face here on screen. If you guys can, go drop a subscription over on Botch Guy's channel as well. Follow all of them over on Twitter, CWrestling on Twitter and Botch Guy on Twitter as well. You can drop a subscription on this channel. And I think that is all the plugging that needs to be done. So CWrestling, dude, this was a lot of fun this week. It really was. Thank you for tuning in, everybody. CWrestling, thank you for joining me. Botch Guy, thank you for joining me. And we will be back next week. Any final words for the chat here, C?
Hope you all have a nice evening.
Oh, aren't you such a nice fella?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Like CWrestling says, have yourself a nice evening. I've been Con. He's been C. That was Botch Guy. And this was the UnNamed Wrestling Podcast. We'll see you next week, everyone. Take care.